Welcome to a new episode with ideas, insights, and inspiration for your life, work, and love. You are listening to the Constellateur podcast with your host, Tom Wittig. The crisis separates, and yet it is revealing something new. It is carrying into something new. At this point in time, there are many crises in the world right now. And as I'm recording this episode, the corona pandemic is full in its dynamic. And there we can see how a crisis can not only unfold, but can unfold in a very powerful way that impacts many people at the same time. One of the characteristics of a crisis is that it is leading towards a critical turning point. And that's probably where this word crisis also comes from. If we overcome this critical turning point, then we can move forward into a new dimension. But oftentimes it is challenging, and oftentimes we're bouncing back and forth like a child on a swing. Only if we overcome this critical turning point, then we can move into what is expecting us above and beyond. And that is making a crisis a very special moment, and oftentimes a moment between old and new, and life and death sometimes, like a patient which is in intensive care. Only if the patient overcomes this critical turning point, then there is a new life afterwards, and also sometimes a new capability. But it is scary because we may not be able to even see what is above and beyond the crisis. And it may require something very substantial from us, a force, a power, an energy, an action from us that we may not seem to be ready yet to provide, to give, or to perform. And yet, when we look back at the crisis that we have already survived, then we realize it brought something new. It brought a new relationship, maybe a new skill, a new competency, or a new form of resilience, which is now taken for granted by us and the people around us. To explore this topic a little bit further, I have recently conducted a webinar, and you're welcome to check out the webinar. I will include the link in the show notes here. But I also want to offer guided insight journey in this context. The following insight journey may take you to a meditative state of mind and body. Please make sure to listen to this audio only in a safe and secure environment. Do not listen to it while driving a car, while operating machinery, or while performing other potentially dangerous activities. If you are not sure if this is for you, please consult your primary care provider first. When you have found your safe place in your room or where you are right now, then we can start exploring and discovering more. Where does the crisis show up in your life? In which relationships? Take your time and look around. In the family, in your work, maybe in your own well-being. Is it familiar or completely strange and unfamiliar? Does it come alone? Or is it a crisis in a crisis in yet another crisis? And now I look at the part of this crisis that is facing me. How does it look at me? And how do I look at the crisis? What does it separate me from? What came before the crisis? Maybe a long time before. And I look at it without resentment, without a judgment. Yes, that belongs also to my life. Take a look around you. Who is with me in this crisis? Who is touched by the crisis? Who is experiencing it as I do? Or maybe even further already. Who is there to help me? And for whom am I available to help? Who shares the pain? And with whom am I sharing the pain? When I look at the crisis, maybe just a little bit closer, What does it require from me to get just a little bit closer, to engage maybe, and maybe to fully overcome the crisis? Yes, I engage, as you are a part of my life, on my path into life. Thank you for separating me from what is now and from all that which was until now. Thank you for testing me and taking me to a new space and time. To something which I cannot even see or feel. And yet, we both know it is coming. You and I. Yes. And I'm taking the full time, my time. And when I am ready, I step back and see everything. Everything that belongs to me. And in your own time and own space, you can come back to the here and now. In this light, in this air, in this place. Your place. This was a short insight journey, and I hope you found this interesting and useful. If you want to share your experience, please reach out and send an email, or you can even leave a voice message here for inclusion in one of the next podcasts. If you want to know more about this topic, please check out the links in the show notes. and visit the website where you can find more information, resources, and more learning opportunities for yourself and your work. With that, I hope to hear from you and I wish you good luck. Thank you for listening. I hope you found interest and insights for yourself and for others. Please share this episode with your family, friends, and colleagues. I welcome your comments about your personal insights and experiences and questions you might have. You can write your comment or leave a voice message on Anchor FM. This podcast episode was brought to you by Tom Wittig. To get notified about new episodes, simply subscribe to the podcast series. You can find more videos, podcasts, blog posts, and event announcements and more on the website and the YouTube channel. Visit our website constellateur.com and check out the show notes of this episode.